Rant and Rate is a new sub-show to Seller Sessions. We're going to road test a few episodes each and every Friday. We plan to cover a lot of the annoying things about being an Amazon seller and how we can make these things better. If you'd like us to rate and debate stuff, then email richard@sellersessions.com. Remember guys, if you like what we do, subscribe and leave a review. Hey guys, this week we bring back Paul again, another episode of Rant and Rate. This week's topic is going to be covering, are courses worth the time? Everyone has a different perspective on these. You know that out in the marketplace, like it's growing and growing on Amazon. Each day you're seeing more webinar courses. There's a lot going on out there, Paul, isn't there?
Tons. And this, by the way, this is such a good topic. It really is, because we could talk about this for hours.
Okay, so let's put a disclaimer in. I've never done a course or like been on to a paid course through my Amazon experience. So bit of background, I used to teach for a period of time towards the end of my music career. I used to teach audio engineering and software packages. So there came a point where as I had slowed down on the engineering and producing and making records and running the labels and stuff, I'd done more and more teaching. And so I was in the classroom 5, 6, 7 days a week sometimes. So I was covering for classes. This was all high-end stuff as well. So people were paying anywhere between 3 and 6 to 12 grand a course, depending on which college I was teaching at. But I found it sucked the life out of me, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a lot. And I suppose this is like a lot of people say to me now, why don't you do any courses? You've got an audience and stuff. It's because I don't want to do teaching in the same way. You know, I love doing the public speaking stuff and sharing information with the audience and breaking it down. That's why I like with my presentations and stuff. It's not just like all theory stuff. It's experiences I have. I'll give you the shit sandwich, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the data and how to do it. That my slides are more built that way. But anyway, that's by the by. I was just trying to separate from my background, because obviously this is about debating what are the benefits here. I didn't come from that background, whereas you have, haven't you? Give us a bit of background on what you do.
So basically with me is that I've done pretty much every single Amazon course out there. And the reason being essentially is that I'm just knowledge hungry. I try to learn absolutely everything. But also on top of that, before doing Amazon, I'm a former maths teacher and a head teacher. So I taught students and adults of all ages. And after that, when I got into Amazon, I then started doing mentoring and coaching, consulting. And to date, I've probably coached over 200 people on a one-to-one basis, and really helped me understand what people need to learn, everything. And at the end of the day, when people say, Paul, do I need a course? The question is, are you willing to put in the workload? It's more of a reflection of the person. Because the thing is, I've applied the same teaching strategies to when I was a teacher to teaching on Amazon. And it's the exact same thing. Like people say to me is that, okay, but Paul, do I need a course or can I just learn this stuff? Well, if you go back to school, who's the better learner? The one that just attends class but doesn't pay attention, or the person that does the revision, does the homework? They always win. And the same thing applies with Amazon Business. I mean, I was doing crazy. I was doing about 8 hours a day just doing consulting. I was charging good money for this. But it just sucked the life out of me, because I would pour out my heart and soul to these people, telling them how to change their business, how to make their success, everything. And did they take action? So few. I think I can honestly say is that the people I coached, maybe about 10% of them went on to do big numbers, and would have been a whole lot more successful had they just done the workload. So I think it's with them. They could do the free stuff, absolutely, but would they actually take it on them? Because it's free, that has no value.
I think because you come from a background in teaching, so do I. We know how to assimilate, gather information, break it down, and absorb it at a high pace. There's learning. Rapid learning techniques that you can do out there, but that's why I'm saying this is why it's a debate, because I've never had to do any courses. One of the other benefits I've had as well is that I set up a mastermind group of big sellers. So I'm a big believer is that by being the least smartest person in the room, you get to learn all the time. If you're the smartest, you're in the wrong room, basically.
Pretty much,
So this isn't a dig against you, because you've done the courses and you've taught Amazon-based courses. I mean, let's look at like we know with our group is that you've done the courses, you're a successful seller, and I mean, I think two of our most successful sellers in the group, like one of them doing 600 grand plus a month, come through the ASM route. There's like a cult thing behind the ASM.
Oh, yes.
It's like a lot of people that have been on ASM would swear by it. So, but obviously that comes at a price as well. And then you've also got paid for masterminds. You've got to work out what the benefits are there. And I think a lot of it does come down to is who you are as a person. I think what I learned about me teaching is that, like you said, you can teach someone, you can be very attentive, you can work on the strategies of, like, say, for instance, when I was teaching in a classroom, I'd break it down and it worked very well for visual learners, but you've got kinesthetic learners, etc. So it's trying to get understanding the learning style of that person and what their plans are doing to move along with it, because you can provide that same piece of information to a room full of people, but only 2 people will make it a success, and that could become down to the person as well. And then on the flip side, you've got to look at, does people have the budgets for this? Or, like, if you've got 5 grand to spend, are you going to spend the 5 grand going the route of 1 or 2 courses, or maybe if that's a deposit on a course in some cases, or do you spend that on product?
Good point. And that's a really good point, because if you look at that, is so people say, I would say the vast majority of the Amazon strategies you can find online for free. They're really, or at least you can do a Udemy course for a really, really low cost. And you can learn all these strategies. The problem that comes in, though, is that people will learn this stuff, but will they go on to actually do it and learn from it? Because the thing is, though, that those courses, because they are either free or really cheap, they give you the bulk of the information, but they don't give you that little twist and make it so much more effective.
Yeah.
And that little twist, to figure out that little twist, will require loads of testing, loads of time, loads of money spending on advertising, stock, planning, all these things. And at the end of the day, do you want to spend that money learning those things for yourself, or do you want to spend that money learning from someone else who's already gone through those steps?
Yeah.
And that's what people don't realize.
Yeah. I think the other thing is as well is that you've got, with the amount of courses out there, the danger that people can fall into the trap of is that if I take another course, then I'll be successful. It's like you're putting off tomorrow by doing another course. Getting that bit of information will therefore make you take that step. So I think there's a thing, are you able to pull the trigger as well?
Yeah. And then in that course, they'll release some bonus that will make it so much more effective, but the bonus will come, like, let's say maybe a month later. So then you're waiting for a month for this bonus, thinking it will change your business, and it really doesn't. And you end up waiting for the next big thing, hoping it'll help you, but actually you've had it the whole time. You just need to put in the hours.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is trying to filter out the better end of the courses. And I think it makes it a bit difficult now. I think if you look at it, it's almost like I'm seeing a pattern. People would hit 7, 8 figures, and it's like, right, it's time to do a course or launch a piece of software. And then you start to think, well, why are you doing that if you've got a successful Amazon business? And the only thing I can think about really is, one, you want to get diversification. Yeah, so you're not just relying on one thing. And I think the big thing is that the cash hungry cow that is your Amazon business. So they're looking for cash flow. And obviously doing a course, other than writing the notes and marketing, the overheads are a lot lower than the products themselves, isn't it, in terms of your product business? But it's just, where do you draw the line? It's like, how many courses do you need? And I mean, my Facebook feed, probably my own fault, I need to filter this out, but literally it's constantly full of courses. Like every week there's a new person now. I've even seen some where they're looking to coach Amazon coaches. It's like there's a course for that. Do you know what I mean? Someone wants to teach you how to teach. Teach you how to teach to sell to Amazon sellers, which I think is quite interesting as well. So what do you think is the best route for, let's give you some scenarios. What do you think is the best route for a new Amazon seller to start off with? Let's just say he's got a budget of 10K. What would you think they should do? And then the second one, what would you do with an existing seller that doesn't have to worry too much about the budget?
So for the first thing is that if you have 10K, that's a good capital to start off with. You can do some real damage with that, and with some real good success numbers with that. The issue we have there is that money is great, but do you have the time? That's the biggest thing. Is that I'll say to you, okay, you have the money now, but now what are you can do with that? Because you need to learn a whole business model here. What's the fastest way to learn that? Take that 10K, put it in the stock, fail hard, and learn quickly, or spend about maybe 30-40% of that budget and buy a course and learn from that. It really comes down to that. How much time do they have? If they have loads of time, then I would say then go and absorb every single free aspect out there, absorb it and act. Or if they don't have the time, learn a course or cut down your learning significantly and then act like that. But then you have less capital.
Yeah. So more of the story, we've got it pinpoints to me that you must have people that are willing to pull the trigger. Is because obviously there's no silver bullet to guarantee your success. What you end up with is that you're going to have information put into your hand, whether you pay for it or for free, and it's going to be down to how you react to that. I mean, I'll give you another example. I won't name the person, but there's a friend of mine that does courses, does a podcast as well. And he got an email in, and I respect him for this because he got an email in and said, I want to do this course, but what guarantees can you give me of success? He said, basically, we can't give you any guarantees of success. This is probably not for you if that's what you're looking for. Ultimately, you've got to work for this. I think sometimes the danger you can fall into is that if someone says, work on the beach 4 hours, wear a suit, laptop lifestyle, if you're selling the lifestyle rather than the information and attracting that crowd who are looking for the silver bullet, then I think you're going to get a bit of blowback there. And then you may not get as many successful people because from their point of view is that they're seeing an image of someone who's doing very well, maybe some cars or something in the shot, or they're sitting on the beach with a laptop and a pina colada or whatever. And then they think, don't worry, that's going to be me soon because I'm going to create passive income and work a 4-hour work week. And it doesn't get there, then they're left disappointed. So I think it's you have to be kind of responsible on how you're going to sell these courses as well to the kind of clientele that you attract. Maybe that's who you want to attract. That's great for affiliate marketers. It works for them. That's maybe what they want to do. They want to sell you a lifestyle first and foremost, and then it's obviously the course information after. But it's a funny one.
It really is. I mean, if you look at that's what really kills me is that one of the questions I get a lot, they say is that, okay, Paul, like, how much time do you spend on your Amazon business? And to be honest, I think it's been about 3, maybe 4 years, and the longest holiday I've had has been a week.
Yeah.
And that week was when I climbed a mountain where I had no internet connection. And when I came down, I realized I almost lost my account because there was an issue while I was climbing the mountain. It's ridiculous. And that's what no one really tells you. But on the other hand, I'm super passionate about this business.
Yeah.
So working on this business isn't really work for me. It's something I enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's something people need to realize, that this has to be your passion.
Yeah.
This has to be your focus. And then nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
And then you won't need a guarantee. I mean, I've never once, I think, even ever read the guarantee on a course because I know it's down to me.
Yeah.
And I know that if, being ex-teacher, when I've had people come to me asking a question, I can pinpoint everything that they said wrong and what actions and inactivity. And like, at the end of the day, they admit, okay, yeah, Paul, you're right. It was me. It's we get that life gets in the way because often life will get in the way and hold you back from success.
Yeah.
It happens to everyone. It's just taking that and learning from it.
Yeah. So moral of the story, what we're saying here, courses are obviously worthwhile doing. They educate you. You've got to work out what kind of budget you have. And most importantly, are you really going to do anything about it? Because there's no point in blaming the course for not delivering because you didn't deliver. You've got to give it your best shot. But ultimately, it's coming down to when is the best time to do a course? Who is the course you should go with, for instance, how you would select those and filter, and what are your end goals and what the benefits out there? Because I would say on the flip side, you can learn a lot through doing. Obviously, with the guidance of a course, especially if there's a support network behind it, there are benefits there. But it's going to come down to your budget. Do you spend 2 to 5K on a course or less? or do you spend that on products? And, you know, go out to meetups and communicate with people online and other
that's a
sellers.
big cost.
Yeah.
That's a big cost to actually meet people,
Yeah.
go to these masterminds, attend them. That's where the real gold is, and that comes at a heavy cost. But that's a required level you need to take once you have absorbed the material and you know you're ready for the next level.
Yeah, cool. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this session with Paul and I. If you've got any other suggestions that you'd like us to debate, email me, danny@sellersessions.com or richard@sellersessions.com. Paul, thank you again for coming in, and I look forward to getting you back soon. Take care.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.